Sharing is shredding. Sharing is shredding.
Hey everyone, Mike here. Welcome to our inaugural episode of Sharing is Shredding. The concept is simple. We want to better know our guitar bar team and members of our community through their instruments. And today we have with us Rhiannon, one of the brightest stars in the guitar bar galaxy. Hi Rhiannon.
Hi Mike.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about guitars. We work together day in, day out-ish, and I want to know a bit more about your musical projects. I want to know a little bit more about your gear, and I understand that you've brought a Stratocaster.
I did bring a Stratocaster, and I think you brought one too.
I did bring a Stratocaster.
Very cool. Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about Strats with you.
Let's pull this thing out.
Okay.
Let's do a reveal.
Great. Awesome. This is Karac.
I'm sorry. Can you spell that one for me?
I think it's with a K. It's Robert Plant's son's name.
Oh, okay.
Karac. I know. It's kind of weird. I didn't know what to name it for a long time, but that's what we called it because Karac, kind of like carrot gold.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of like the vibe.
What is Fender calling this? Are they like Aztec, Shoreline?
It's Aztec
They're going
gold.
Aztec?
Yeah. With the gold hardware.
Tell me about this guitar. When did you get this guitar? What does this guitar mean to you?
Yeah, I got this guitar from my dad when I turned 14, and I got a lot of my musical interest from him. So he gave me all my guitars, and I started learning all Zeppelin songs. He taught me Stairway to Heaven immediately. We were big on Zeppelin, but then I got a Strat. So, but he was really into Jeff Beck, so that's why the Strat
Landed with the Strat.
Exactly.
Now, is this guitar something that you've left bone stock, or have you made any modifications to this?
Totally stock. Yeah.
Really?
I haven't messed with it at all.
That's a little bit uncommon, but I kind of, that's almost more punk rock in a way. Like,
Oh, thanks.
no, we see people
Yeah.
going down a million different rabbit holes with
Yeah.
chasing certain tones or certain things.
Yeah.
And my Strat as well, absolutely bone stock, never changed a thing on it.
That's cool.
And there's a lot simpatico here with our teenage Strats, I think. Down to the straps. We need to unpack the straps.
Yeah.
I think I better just pull this out so we can
yeah.
see.
Because it's
see our
really cool.
straps. Now this was totally unplanned, but we both have our teenage animal print get 'em straps.
Yep.
And I like this very much. I do want to know a little bit more about the cheetah strap though.
Oh.
I hear that there's a story of resentment potentially here, and I think we need to unpack this.
Okay, so you have to understand that, like, before the cheetah girls were cool on Disney, I used to be really obsessed with cheetah print as a kid. So I had like this cheetah hat, beret, and like a cheetah shirt and a cheetah skirt, and I would wear it like every day of the week, and you couldn't get me out of it. So, fast forward to the time I'm a teenager, my dad gets this as a gift for me, and this is the strap, in the case with the guitar. And I was like, I'm grown up. Like, I can't believe you got this for me. Like, that's so childish. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I own. So, yeah.
This is my favorite strap I own. As I referenced my Strat, but this is my favorite strap that I own. Yes.
And they're really like thick too, which I like. Like, they're sturdy and
They're long. You can sling them super low.
that's what I'm saying. Well, you can do that because you have long arms.
Well, I have a wide stance.
So yeah, we accidentally matched. And do you feel like at heart you like zebras more than cheetahs? Is that why?
Oh man, I'm just rolling through all my Jungle Cruise animals here. I'll stick with the zebras. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I'll stick with cheetahs.
Camp Zebra.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. No, it makes me happy. I was so shocked. Like, honestly, I have not met anybody else with an animal print strap, so.
Well, so first guitar strap I've ever owned. And
That's crazy.
This was, it was right when Weezer's Green album was out,
Yeah.
and their bassist Mikey Welsh was playing. He definitely had like an animal print thing going on.
Totally.
So, we've just got multiple shades of Weezer happening with this guitar here, really.
I love it. Down to the humbuckers.
Very much down to the humbuckers, yeah. So you know the gatefold from the Blue album that's in black and white?
Yes. Yeah.
So I had never seen that photo in color. So when I was looking...
No!
looking for my first electric guitar, and I was like, oh, that guitar looks white.
Yeah.
I want a double fat Strat that's white that looks just like Rivers Cuomo's in the Blue Album gatefold.
Yeah.
And went to every guitar store in Seattle, you know, how do I get the Weezer sound?
Yeah.
Please, sir, how do I get the Weezer sound? You know, and really didn't get any straight answers out of it. So it was really visually going off of that and going to like King County Library to go to what was, I think, the Rebel Weezer Alliance was their first like super prototypical website, and just
my God.
printing out every page at the library so I could read up and try to figure out how they were getting that sound.
Oh my God, that's so cool though. It's like a little Scooby-Doo adventure.
And
You know?
yeah, absolutely. And yes, full of all sorts of mishaps.
Yeah.
Including the color of this Strat, which is not Sonic Blue like Rivers at all.
It's not. If we could Photoshop it to be, but
We
then
could.
but then it would be the Mike Ball Strat.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I mean, coming to this with the double fat Strat, I was really happy to get an ash body. I didn't even know why I wanted it at the time, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's blonde. I can see the grain through it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But sonically, it's such a different thing than an alder bodied Strat. And I love how this one's a super switch. So you get the humbucker thing, but it also splits the coils in 2 and 4, so you get the single coil
Sick.
setup on it. And it's been such a versatile guitar. Buddy Holly was kind of like my other early, like, and not even like from the Weezer song Buddy Holly, but just like totally separate. Even earlier, before I was into Weezer, I was into Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
And to get that ash-bodied 50s Strat sort of a thing,
Yeah.
I didn't even. It was intuitively heading towards the two things that I loved about Strats. My high school band was kind of the one where this got a whole lot of play before I
Yeah.
switched to Fender offsets and Gibson ES guitars and things. So there's definitely photos of me out there with frosted tips, slinging this guitar at age 16.
That's awesome. So wait, so what were you playing through when you were a teenager then? Like what amps were you, or were you like pedals and amps and like what were you, what was the setup?
It was simple. So I mean, it was simple because of finances. So,
Yeah.
I had actually hung on to some money I got when my grandmother passed away for years, and that's how I even afforded to get a USA Strat. There was no other way I could have gotten into that.
Yeah.
So it was this straight into a Marshall JCM 2000 single 12 combo. So the littlest of the JCMs.
Yeah.
And that was a great amp.
Nice.
Dual Super Lead 401, like kind of should have hung on to it in retrospect.
Yeah.
But it was just, it had 2 little buttons and I could get some gain or I could get a whole hell of a lot of gain. And I didn't have any pedals and I was just straight in for the longest time. What do you play this through?
I'm so straight in. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm a purist, but I really like seeing what an instrument can offer to you. And I think there's so much to say about the guitarists who get tone like through their hands or just like exploring the guitar sound with like different amps or like, the pickups you have. And I like leaving it like not complicated. Every once in a while I'll do like a reverb kind of moment. It doesn't really matter what reverb it is as long as it goes wah, 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 I'm happy.
And Rhiannon, you brought in some photos of you playing what I assume is your very first guitar.
Yes, it is, Mike.
And this is not just any guitar. This little buddy it's a Chiquita. It's the same guitar that Marty McFly's playing in the beginning of Back to the Future.
Yes, it is. I'm practically Marty McFly.
Rock and roll.
I grew up at a time where like people like Avril Lavigne and that were like super iconic. And I just found out that Phil X played on her second album, and I was like, that's why the guitar sounded so heavy on that album. Because for the longest time, I'm like, why do I like this album? And I was like, oh, Phil X played guitar on this, and it sounds freaking heavy. like so heavy. And so I don't know, it's cool to like, this can kind of get that heavy sound too, like when you're like pushing it through certain amps and stuff. So I think that's kind of cool.
I don't think single coils get enough credit sometimes for how percussive and mean sounding they can be.
Yes. It's crazy. I think single coils can get kind of a bad rep, but also the thing I like about single coils too is like your Strat kind of like exposes you. Like it shows you what kind of a player you really are. And so for the longest time, I would avoid playing this plugged in because I was like, I sound like crap. Like I don't sound the way I want to sound when it's like that really clean sound. And it's like, I don't know, it made me a better player too, which is something I really appreciated about this guitar. So.
Takes courage.
Yeah.
And honesty.
Yeah.
As does playing a gold Strat with gold hardware in general is an aesthetic flex that I really appreciate.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it wears me sometimes, but you know, I accept it. It's cool.
Well, I mean, it's got this one great battle scar here too. How did
Oh my god. I wish I did the dropping on this. So I think my dad borrowed it and he dropped it. And then he fixed it with super glue.
Dad.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You know, you get older, you move away from family, and it's like, oh yeah,
Dad broke this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a nice little like memento. I'm like, you know, he did that, and it's kind of nice because I think of him. It's nice when you let other people play your gear. If they drop it, it's okay because I can still play it, and it's fine.
They're friends. They're family.
friends.
It's fine.
You still love them?
Yeah. This is why we're here. We're surrounded by wonderful people who can fix all of our guitars here at the Guitar Bar, where we offer full service vintage gear restoration.
I feel like you should make a whole album and do it with this guitar.
Straight in, no effects.
No effects. Yeah. And then you need to recreate the sound with the amp as well, the original amp.
Frost the tips.
Frosted tips.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Okay. I feel like I've just lost a bet, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe, yes. But it'll be good.
Well, Rhiannon, I feel like we've shredded.
Yes.
Thank you for going on this journey with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And for all of you at home, stay tuned for more episodes of Sharing is Shredding coming soon to our YouTube channel. Mike and Rhiannon in the morning. This is everything I was hoping this would be.
Yay!